So I'm left with my low poly and my high poly here. So both in different sections. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unwrap my low poly. So I'm going to select both of these and I'm going to isolate. Or Alt-Q. Well, it actually works as well. So I'm going to grab both of these, add unwrap, open the UV editor. Right now, I don't exactly like this. I want to make these look better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab all of these and I'm going to grow the selection. And I'm going to planar this straight down. Z works. Grab these minus this bottom part, and I'm just going to run a cylindrical map on these X, Y, Z. And checker pattern so I can see what's going on here. I need to squash these until I get a nice square look, and I'm just holding shift to move straight down. So I get that. And look at my bottom. Need to make sure that the size of the squares match up. So a little smaller. Then as well as if you look at these 2 points were to line up. So maybe just a little bit. Right there. That's pretty damn close. So I'm fine with that. Move those off over there. Now this guy. This is good for the most part, but I get some nastiness right here. So I want these edges fixed. So I'm just going to squash those. I'm going to inverse by hitting Control I. So I get that. Don't need these. And I'm going to grow my selection and scale these in. Very nice. To about right there. Looks pretty good. So now I need to fit both of these into the scene. Squash these down again, make sure that the squares are similar in size. So if I look in top down, similar. So move that there. Crazy robot face. And move these to fit inside there. And since these are the only parts of my model, I don't have anything else that's going to be in here, so I'm just going to move these here. I'm going to have a lot of empty space, and I would imagine that this empty area would potentially be filled in with, say, the handles that I potentially would model. You guys will model it, I won't. I'm just going to show you what we have here. So that's good. So now I can unisolate, and I have both of these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select my low cam and make sure that this looks good. Everything's good. I'm going to File, Export Selected, and make a new folder. Call this Low Body. Export. Done. Grab the high poly. File, Export. Before I do that, make sure my iterations are set to 2. Let's do 3, just so it looks even nicer. File, Export, Selected. High body, export. This will obviously take a little bit more time. Done. Low poly, file, export selected, low lid, export. Grabbing the high poly, file, export selected, high lid, export. Cool. Now that's good. Now I can look for X normal. definition meshes. You don't need this one, this is from a previous one, so I'm just going to select them and delete them. Right click, add meshes. I'm going to choose my high poly because I am in the high section, high body, and high lid, and hit open. Next I'm going to go to low definition meshes, delete this, right click, add meshes, low body, low lid, open. Baking options. I want to do tests, so I'm going to do 512 by 512. Edge padding, make sure edge padding is set to 0. Make sure that this is at least saving to somewhere that you want, to destination to the desktop as a JPEG. I'm setting my normal map and ambient. Make sure my normal map is a tangent space. Ambient. Rays are pretty good. If I want to, when I do my final one, I can increase this to make it the final high quality. So now I can come to Tools. I typically use Ray Distance Calculator. It might work on your computers, it might not, but it just gets a little bit added extra. So, and select this and hit Go, and it's just going to spit out some numbers for us. And at a certain point, they're not going to do anything, so now we can hit Stop, and I'll do Copy Results. Copied value, that copies it in any Voodoo Magic area that it needs. And that's it. Go to Baking Options and hit Generate Maps. And yes, yes. Very nice. And I can take a look at these. Very cool. This came out good. And if I wanted to plug these in just so I can see them, I'll do that for you guys too right now. I'll even open up a video on how to do it in Maya. So hit M on the keyboard, or hit here, bring up the material editor, modes, compact, choose a brand new texture, diffuse, bitmap. I'm going to choose my AO, go to parent, increase some spec on here and some gloss, open up maps, bump, choose normal bump, normal, bitmap, find my image, back, assign it, show shaded, and I'm going to add an Omnilight so that I can see what's going on in here. Let's actually see what realistic doesn't do anything for us. Shaded. Hit render.